by the Korean 11-5, 11-7, 11-5. Just had a little bit too much for his Chinese Taipei opponent. This is Alison Gross signing off for this match.
this 22-man final. It's underway. It's over a kilometre, so 4 laps of the track. This is Bahman Golbanezad of Iran. And the times that you need to be looking at, the world record time, Jodie Cundy of Great Britain, 65 seconds, 1:05.144. So they're just flat out sprinting here as fast as they can, round 4 laps of the track. Golbanezad, road race gold medalist at the 2012 Asian Championships at Kuala Lumpur. Just past the minute mark. So he will set the pace, and that's a pretty good pace. If he can finish within the next second or two, well, he's certainly not going to break any records with that, a 1.14. For Bahman Golbanezad, we've already seen records broken in the track this morning. And there the Iranian, 1.14 his time. This track at the velodrome, it's a 250-metre oval. It's banked from 12 degrees at its shallowest point to 42 degrees at its steepest. C4 and C5, and there's a factor, it's 0.6%, so his time is marked down to 1.13799. And next onto the track we have Imre Torok of Romania. Torok currently ranked 33rd in the world on the road. A couple of years ago he was ranked as high as 9th on the track, and so his obviously initial target is to beat Golbanezad, but there are 22 cyclists here. As I say, it is entirely individual. It's the times that matter. You're not racing against the people who've gone before, you're racing against everybody. There's the countdown, and Torok, to wild applause from packed house here at the velodrome. Time to beat. So at 250 metres he's at 22 seconds. To say the world record held by Jodie Cundy of Great Britain, 65 seconds, just over 65 seconds, around 500 in 38. And Imre Torok now, the average speeds, by the way, of these cyclists are absolutely fantastic. First competitor, the Iranian, 48.781 kilometres per hour. Torok is a C5 cyclist, so there'll be no factoring in his time. This is the final bend, comes round to the finish, 1.13774. So, well, he's slightly the faster, but that's fairly marginal, and on a quick track it will be, I would think, quicker times that win the medals. The home nation, Great Britain, have a couple of real medal hopes, along with a Chinese rider, a Spaniard, Cabello, Buska of the Czech Republic. They're all to come later, though. So 22 single individuals, and there we see Torok just finishing his ride. It's come a long way, Paralympic cycling, originally developed as a sport for blind athletes. who competed using tandem bicycles, but the advances in technology have been such they have opened up the sport to a far wider range of athletes, so much so that cycling is now the third largest sport on the Paralympic programs. Next up is Koen Reesehove of Belgium. Lots of support, as you can probably hear, for the Belgian cyclist. What wonders of technology are these modern bikes? So Koen Reesehove is in the C4 class, so his time will be factored slightly downwards by 0.6 of a percentage. And again, the crowds have been wonderful to all the athletes throughout the Olympics and in the early stages of the Paralympics here at London 2012. Comes round for the first 250 metres. Did that at 22 seconds. No strategy as such to the individual time trials. It's just full pelt, fast as you can, get the quickest start you can, and pedal like fury. 4 laps of the track. He's nearly completed 3. And up to about maximum speed now. And we're going just under 50 kilometers per hour at this stage. This is competitor number 10, the Belgian Reesehove. His time will place him third out of the 3, though. 1.14689, as I say. That will be factored, or sorry, that is the factored time, 1.15.140, so that has been factored down to 1.14689. Well, his face a study of concentration there. In the time trials, the cyclists with the different classifications actually competing against each other, and this process called factorings actually used in order to take into account the severity of the disability of each competitor. So it is the cyclist with the fastest time after those times have been factored. So all the C5 class, their times stand as raced, and the C4 class, you have this 0.6% factoring. Next up, the Brazilian, João Alberto Schwintfilo. He is a C5 athlete, 3 times world champion medalist, won a silver in 2011 in a road race and a couple of bronze. He also won the C5 class overall at the 2012 Paracycling World Cup. So final preparations there for Schwintfilo, born in 1977. this level, of course, it's very technical in terms of split seconds can be vital, can mean the difference between a medal and no medal. So in terms of preparation, everything has to be right. So Schwindt-Filo getting up to speed now. I guess first target mark, the 1:25, and then round to the first lap of the track. You see on the time to beat, he is the fastest so far, is the Brazilian. The case at 3:75 as well. Now around to the 500-meter time. Yeah, still currently the quickest then, Schwindt-Filo. So this will be the best time so far if he can maintain this. Oh yes, quickest so far, 1:11.259 for João Alberto Schwindt-Filo of Brazil. The 34-year-old goes into the lead, but we've only had 4 of the 22 competitors so far. 1:11.259 his confirmed time. He's the first man so far to average a speed of over 50 kilometres per hour, 50.519 kilometres per hour. So there are the standings. And confirmation that he is in the lead, the Brazilian, Schwindt-Filo. Torok of Romania currently in second place. A long way down the track. But lots of competitors still to come. 18 of the 22 still to come. And next up we will have the Cuban, Damian Lopez Alfonso. Actually gained entry to the Paralympic Games here on a wild card. Lopez Alfonso was electrocuted at the age of 13. He was actually out playing with his toy kite. Tried to retrieve it from power lines and that resulted in the facial disfigurement you can see and the amputation of lower limbs. The 35-year-old then, Damian Lopez Alfonso from Cuba, is the 5th competitor to go. Just outside the time to beat, and that's in the left of your screen. The time to beat is the time of the fastest competitor round each stage of the course. So now at 3:75, he's got to be at 30.5. He's just outside that. He won't be quite as quick, it appears, as Schwint-Filo. But the crowd are certainly warming to the Cuban. There's the bell for the last 250 metres then. And now round to the finish. Well, it won't put him inside of the medals, but it's been a very, very brave performance from Damian Lopez Alfonso. His time 1:16.947. That's factored down to 1.16485. So he's last of the 5 we've seen so far, and yet still averaging a speed of over 47 kilometres per hour. Sixth to go is Morten Jahr of Norway. The youngest man we've seen so far, 28 years of age. Again, a C4 competitor, so his actual time will be factored downwards. This is his 3rd Paralympics. He competed in 2004 and 2008. So despite being just 28 years of age, he has been competing internationally for 11 years now. Keen fisherman, Morten Jahr, actually born with a short right leg. And pushes off with the left. Again, the time to beat in the left-hand corner. At the moment, he is ahead of the Brazilian Schwint-Filo. At the quarterway stage, still almost a second ahead of João Alberto Schwint-Filo of Brazil. Now, can he maintain this pace? Jahr coming round to the halfway point. No, he's lost a little bit of time there now. He's a second, more than a second, in fact, behind. The bell for the last lap then for Morten Jahr of Norway. Time-wise fallen off the pace a little now. But still warm applause from this London crowd. 1:16.043 is his factored time, and that puts him in 5th place out of the 6 competitors. The Norwegian will be among the medals then. At the moment, it's still Schwint-Filo of Brazil in a time of 1:11.259, who leads in this men's individual C4 and C5 1 kilometre time trial final. And later on at the velodrome, with the 18 cycling medals, we've got another 3 still to come this afternoon: the C1, the C2 and the C3 pursuits. And in the qualification this morning, we saw world records tumble. So there, Schwint-Filo leads by a couple of seconds, more than 2 seconds in fact. Like more than 2.5 seconds. So at the moment, he is the man to beat. As we see another Brazilian, his compatriot Soalito Gore, C5 athlete. So his finishing time will stand as it is. He's a 2 times world road champion in 2009 and 2010. He broke the nerve plexus in his left shoulder and his neck in a road accident 17 years ago. So the 38-year-old Brazilian just waits for the countdown. Well, that wasn't the brightest of starts from Soalito Gore. I wonder if he can bounce back. He's certainly got some speed up now, no question about that. And he's leading at the quarterway stage. If he can maintain this pace, he will overtake his compatriot Schwint-Filo. Just lost a little time in that second quarter of the race. So now he races round to the 625-metre mark. And then this will be 3/4 way, 54.431. No, he's well outside that now. Takes the bell. He's not going to upstage his compatriot Schwint-Filo here. (1:13.017). Puts him into second place though. So at the moment we have a Brazilian 1 and 2. João Alberto Schwint-Filo leading. Soalito Gore, the rider you're looking at now, is currently in second place. Well, that was not the best start out of the blocks, but he recovered very, very quickly. And at one stage, he was ahead of the game. But couldn't maintain the pace. But he's in second place at the moment. And as we come to the 8th competitor. And next up we'll see C4 athlete, the Colombian Diego Herman Duenas Gomez. He's won the award already for the most colourful helmet. That's a very snazzy number from the Colombian. Finished 11th at this year's World Championships in this event, in the 1 kilometre time trial. He used to be a skater, now has permanent nerve damage and a loss of sense in his left leg, because 5 years ago in a competition so more than half a second ahead of Schwint-Filo at the 1:25 mark. Now at 2:50, almost half a second in the lead. But we've seen others ahead of Schwint-Filo until the latter stages of the race. But at the moment it's going well. 38.485 to beat. He's still just ahead of the Brazilian at the halfway stage. Now round to the 625 metre mark. But no, he's lost a little bit now. And he's 0.24 behind the Brazilian. Now 0.18 behind him. Takes the bell. 125 metres to go. It's going to be tight, this. What's he got up his sleeve in the finish? Time to beat 1:11.689, 1:11.959 for Diego Herman Duenas Gomez. Will put him into second place. He's only the second man to go above 50 kilometres per hour. So good ride from the Colombian. He'll be pretty pleased with that. 0.268 behind the leader. Confirmation there of the standings. 8 of the 22 cyclists have ridden in this final, and still Schwint-Filo of Brazil leads. The rider you just saw, the Colombian Diego Herman Duenas Gomez, is now in second place. He is a man with pedigree, won 3 medals at the Paralympic Games in 2008. A gold in the time trial on the road, on the track. He won the silver in the 4-kilometre pursuit and bronze in this event, the 1-kilometre time trial. So away he goes. Saka was electrocuted many years ago, 29 years ago, when he was playing on an old train, as you can see, resulting in the amputation of his left arm and several of his toes. And he's doing well. Doing very well so far. So let's have a look at the time to beat at the halfway mark, 38.256. Yes, he's inside, 37.975, so this is an excellent ride from Wolfgang Schaka. Now round to the 3-quarter mark. Yes, it's still green. If it's green, it's inside the time to beat. Now round to 8.75, still just under half a second quicker than the Brazilian Schwint-Filo. Now to the finish, 1:11.259, 1:11.019, and we have a new leader in the men's individual C4 and 5 1-kilometre time trial final. Wolfgang Saka of Germany into the lead. Marvellous balance from Saka. It's a very, very fast track, this. 50.69 kilometres per hour he's travelling at. And remember, at its steepest, The banking on the velodrome is at 42 degrees. So C4 athlete, first man from the USA that we've seen in this final, Sam Kavanagh. He captured 4 medals last year at the Parapan American Games, a gold, a couple of silvers and a bronze. He's the 8 times national champion. He's also the American record holder in the pursuit event. No pursuing necessary here because this is the time trial. He is attempting though to overhaul the German Wolfgang Sacker's time of 1.11.019. And you can see the time to beat is already underneath that through 125 metres, 22.274, yeah, quarter of the way gone, and he's almost a second faster than the German. And a keen skier, he actually had to have his left leg rather, amputated when he was caught in an avalanche 7 years ago. Talk about bouncing back. As soon as he had his prosthetic limb fitted, he cycled 2 days later, takes the bell, still 0.23 inside Sacker's time. Wolfgang Sacker, the German, the current leader. Now he's just drifted slightly, 0.237 outside, round to the finish, 1:11.447 the time to beat, just outside and into 4th place with a time of 1:11.678. As you can see, that's the factored time. He's a C4 rider, Sam Kavanagh, so into 4th position. So a fine ride, won't be enough to win him a medal here at London 2012. Marvellous balance and concentration from all these athletes. Now after the next competitor, will be halfway through this final because Jiří Ježek of the Czech Republic is the 11th of the 22 to go. And this is a man with form. So his right leg amputation followed a car accident 27 years ago. He's now 37 years of age. And as I say, a man with a history in the Paralympics because he was a 5-time Paralympic champion. Career total of 9 Paralympic Games medals, including 5 golds. Won 4 medals at Beijing 4 years ago. competed in 2000, 2004, 2008. So it's a long record of success for Jiří Ježek. And he's trying to chase down the leader, who is the German Wolfgang Sacker. And there's the split. There's a long way to go. But a quicker start, certainly, than the German. Now around a quarter of the distance already, though. Fallen ever so slightly behind. Round then to the halfway stage, 38.202. 0.27 outside that for Jiří Ježek. 125 metres, 0.02 ahead of the German. 1:11.447. He's done it. 1:11.005 for Jiří Ježek. Right arm held aloft, blowing kisses to what I have to say is a wonderful crowd. They really have embraced all these athletes at the velodrome. Got some natty headgear there as well. And Jiří Ježek is all smiles. Over 51 kilometres per hour. And in fact, you can see there, he is a C4 athlete, so his time of 1:11.005 has been factored down to 1.10578. And it's the Czech who leads from the German Wolfgang Sacker and the Brazilian Schwinfilo in third place. So the times are coming down. There's still a fair way, it has to be said, off Paralympic or world records so far. Andrea Tarleo of Italy, 28-year-old C5 athlete, so the time you see will be the time recorded. No factoring involved here. He's a two-time road world champion in the individual time trial. And those 2 years were recent as well, 2010, 2011. This year, in the World Championships, silver medalist in the individual pursuit. Has paralysis in his left arm. As I say, C5 athlete, 1:10.578 of Jiří Ježek of the Czech Republic is the time to beat. And he's half a second quicker. Make that 0.8 of a second. This is some ride so far from Andrea Tarleo of Italy. More than a second quicker at halfway. So Tarleo is on target to take the lead. Round now to the three-quarter mark, 54.192 to beat. Almost a second ahead of that. It's looking good at the moment for the Italian. Grits his teeth now. Just lost about 0.1, 0.2 of a second on the last 125, but there he is into first place. almost half a second quicker. Andrea Tarleo of Italy, 1:10.175. Into the gold medal position goes the Italian. Well, there is confirmation then. This men's time trial, C4 and 5 categories. Tarleo of Italy leading Jezek of the Czech Republic, with Saka of Germany in third place. Shaping up to be quite a competition, this now. Next up, we have Masashi Ishii of Japan. Just making one or two last-minute adjustments. So here at the Olympic Park Velodrome, this men's individual C4 and 5 1-kilometre time trial. We're just past the halfway point in terms of the number of athletes that we have seen. 22 in this 1-kilometre time trial final. And at the moment, we've seen 12 of them go. Masashi Ishii of Japan, a C4 athlete, 39 years old, is about to start at the moment. Andrea Tarleo of Italy is leading. 1 minute 10 seconds, .175 for the Italian. Jiří Ježek of the Czech Republic is second. Wolfgang Saka of Germany in third. And Ishii going well, .623 ahead at the 1:25 stage. At 2:50, he's over a second quicker. Excellent stuff from the 2008 Paralympic champion in this event, in world record time as well, 4 years ago. Records have tumbled since then. We're now around 625 metres, and he's still over a second quicker. He'll take the bell now at 7:50. Just slipped slightly, but still almost a second quicker than Andrea Tarleo of Italy, who was previously in the gold medal position at 8:75. He's still almost a second quicker. Now round to the finish, 1.10.598 to beat, 109.659. We have a new leader. It's the Japanese cyclist Masashi Ishii, the 39-year-old. His time will be factored downwards as well, from 109.659 to 109.241. This really is hotting up this cycling competition, this individual C4 and 5 1-kilometre time trial. Being urged on there by his coach, Hitoshi Takahashi, has been coaching Ishii, or is doing at these games anyway. And the married father of 3, Masashi Ishii of Japan, with that factored time of 1:09.241, is now the new leader in this event. Remember, the host nation, Great Britain, have a couple of interested watchers so far at this event. They'll be cycling later. In fact, they'll be last and third to last to go. They are both definitely medal hopes for the host nation. Right now, it's the Japanese who are hoping, though, with Masashi Ishii, as we come to Igor Dementyev of Ukraine, 25-year-old C5 class athlete. Again, so the time you see will be the time that stands. There'll be no factoring involved here. Wonderful event, wonderful velodrome, and terrific event. The cycling now, 225 cyclists at this Paralympics, 155 men and 70 women across the road and track events. Each country limited to 21 athletes, though, 14 men and 7 women. And Igor Dementyev ran the first 125 metres, 0.054 outside the leading cyclist so far, Ishii, now around at the quarter stage, and he's dropped a little further behind. Remember that screen, time to beat, 28 points to second behind leader Ishii of Japan. Takes the bell. I did make up a little bit of ground on that last 1:25, and he's made up a little bit more, in fairness. He's only 0.6 now outside the lead, but he really has left himself with a lot to do. 1:09.241, 1:09.558. Well, he really turned the screw towards the end there, the Ukrainian. Igor Dementyev is into second place. And that was terrific, really, the way he just got faster and faster and faster. Well, he was always behind Masashi Ishii. But the closer he got to the finish, the closer he got to the leader. And he's in the silver medal position, Igor Dementyev of the Ukraine. Now confirmation. So 1:09.241, the best time so far. Ishii of Japan, Dementyev of Ukraine. Just 0.31 of a second behind. As we come to Chris Ross of New Zealand. He's one of the youngest in the field. He's only 23 years of age. He's born with the lower part of his left arm missing. Only been cycling 3 years. There's Ross. Already this year, in 2012, at the World Championships, finished 5th in the time trial, with a personal best as well. So the crowd urged to be silent for Chris Ross. As well as cycling, he's got a master's degree in urban planning, so he fits plenty into his spare time. He works for a medical supplies company, and he's round the first 125 metres, 0.41 behind the leader, Masashi Ishii of Japan. And still just around about half a second behind the leader, round 250, now round 375. Well, it's pretty steady, that's for sure. If he can finish quickly, you never know. Halfway stage, 0.379 behind the Japanese cyclist. Shaping up to be an excellent competition, this 1 kilometre time trial. Will take the bell, 52.293. There's 0.68 outside that is Chris Ross. Now round to the finish. He's going to finish just outside the medals, 1:11.569. That leaves him in 8th place. He's a C5 athlete, no factoring involved there. He's 2.3 off the leader. And Masashi Ishii of Japan will be starting to dream perhaps of gold, but he knows that there are some very, very experienced riders still to come. Only 7 riders remain. And after the New Zealander, next we have the Chinese cyclist Yi Zhaofei. The 2-time world champion team sprint medalist. Took gold this year, silver last year at the World Championships. Another very young competitor, not the youngest. In fact, his compatriot, who's the penultimate cyclist, Liu, was born as recently as 1992, so he's barely 20 years old. Xi is 23. He's a C4 athlete, so his time will be factored down by 0.6%. And the time to beat, 1 minute, 9 seconds, 0.241. And it's the Japanese Masashi Ishii who currently leads. There's the countdown, and away goes Yi Zhaofei. You can see how that time to beat, 12.669, that has tumbled at the 125 metre mark of Ishii. Fine ride so far from Xi. Next up round to the 3/4 mark. He's almost half a second quicker. Almost 0.6 of a second now quicker than Masashi Ishii. Time to beat it at the next stage at 8.75 is 1:01.020, and he's beaten it by 0.466. Here we go, round to the finish, 1:09.658 to beat. 1:09.276, and that will be factored down to 1:08.860. We have a new leader. It's the Chinese cyclist Yi Zhaofei. There's confirmation of that factored time. 1 minute, 8 seconds, point 860. Terrific ride. Wonderful ride from Xi. Picture of concentration and determination. When you're a track cyclist, you need to be strong and powerful. You have to be tactically aware in some of the disciplines and things like the pursuit, but time trials really, they are about speed. They're about speed, pure and simple. And sometimes, when you're not actually in the velodrome, you forget just how fast these guys are going. 52.279 kilometers per hour. Xi Xiaofei was going there. His factor time, 1 minute, 8 seconds, point 860, puts him 0.381 of a second ahead of Masashi Ishii of Japan. Igor Dementiev, by the way, of the Ukraine, is currently in the bronze medal position. Karol Eduard Novak of Romania is next to go. After him, we'll just have 5 more riders in this 1 kilometer time trial. Interestingly, he is actually coached by a couple of Chinese coaches, the Romanian. It's a Chinese athlete who leads. Novak's a 2-time Paralympian winning road time trial medalist. Got a silver in Beijing. Also competed in 2004 as well. He was actually a national champion speed skater for Romania before he had a car accident at the age of 20. That resulted in part of his right leg being amputated. So a quarter of the way through, and he's 0.421 off the pace. When I say the pace, I mean obviously the leading cyclist. So round now to the halfway stage. Really have to up the ante here if he's to make an impression on the medals. Novak tears round the corner to take the bell. But I think he's going to be too far outside to be among the medals. His time will be factored down though. He is a C4 athlete, so he comes round now to the finish. 109.275 is the time to beat. 109.809, and that will be factored down to 109.390, and it is enough to take him into the bronze medal position. So we've had slight change then to the standings, with 5 more cyclists still to come. Just look at the way he grits his teeth there. Just over half a second behind the current leader, Xi of China. Acknowledges the applause of this crowd, who have been a truly terrific crowd. There's still lots more cycling still to come. After this, of course, we have finals in the pursuits, C1, C2 and C3 pursuit finals. But 5 more riders remain in this 1 kilometer time trial. And Jiří Buška of the Czech Republic is the next man to ride. Xi of China leads. Ishii of Japan is second. Novak of Romania is third. Buška has polio, which affects the left side of his body. He's a 4 times Paralympic medalist, though. won a silver in the time trial 4 years ago. And also 3 bronze medals, a couple of them in 2004 and another one 4 years ago. So he's a man with a track record, Jiří Buška of the Czech Republic, now 32 years of age. Can he overhaul the Chinese rider Xi? Well, at the moment, by the very, very finest of margins, he is at the lead at the 1:25 stage. What about 250? No, just drifted outside point 177 off Xi's time. Round to the halfway mark, almost half a second behind Xi Zhaofei, the current leader. Takes the bell. 0.327 of a second behind the leader, Xi. Might be enough to, well, he's cutting a little bit of time there. Only 0.2 behind. All hands to the pump now as we come to the finish. 109.275, 109.391, and it is factored to 108.974, and he's into the silver medal position. Wonderful ride from Jiří Buška. So again, a change to the standings. No change to the leader, still Xi of China has the lead. Terrific pedal power from Jiří Buška. Thumbs up from one of his coaching team. And Buška 0.114 behind the leader. That factored time there, 1.08974 for Jiří Buška. Xi Zhaofei 108.860 currently in the gold medal positions. Ishii of Japan now drops into the bronze medal position, and we are down to the last 4 cyclists. Because in one sense, you could say the later you go, you know what you have to do. But I guess that's easy to say. You still have to go out there and do it. Now the Spanish rider Alfonso Cabello, who is the youngest rider in this final. He is just 18 years of age, is Cabello. A former competitive swimmer whose left arm was amputated below the elbow. In good form this year. A couple of bronze medals at the World Championships in the team sprint, and also, interestingly, in this event, a 1 kilometre time trial. So silence, please, from the crowd for Alfonso Cabello. 108.860 is the time to beat. Xi Zhaofei of China is the athlete to beat. And Cabello looks as if he's quick out of the blocks. Let's see if that's confirmed by his time. Yes, it is. 11.841. Now round to the 250-metre mark. He's over a second quicker, 1.3 of a second quicker. Now, can he keep this pace up? Yes, 1.69 now, round to the halfway mark. Time to beat, 35.637. Oh, he's well inside it, more than 2 seconds inside it. Can he keep this going? 2.5 seconds ahead. Round to the 3/4 mark, he'll take the bell. Well, he's getting on now for 3 seconds quicker. This is fantastic cycling from Cabello. A shade under the 3 seconds now. Round to the finish, 108.860. He's going to absolutely shatter it. 105.947 is a new world record. Well, you could tell almost the minute he left the trap. It looked quick all the way. And my word, it was quick. It is a new world record for Alfonso Cabello, just 18 years old. And the Spaniard with a time of 105.947 into the gold medal position and then some. He's almost 3 seconds quicker than Xi of China, and WR there means world record. No factoring in his time, he's a C5 athlete, but 105.947. His mouth opening and closing, taking in air. And his coach, Salvador Cabeza de Vaca, looked absolutely delighted with a new world record. Previous world record in the C5 category was 1.07.212. And intriguingly, that world record has been snatched from the man who is up next. But first, let's look at the standings. Athlete number 32, Alfonso Cabello, new world record, just under 1 minute and 6 seconds, has the lead. 3 cyclists remain to go. And listen now to the cheers for John Allen Butterworth. And it was his world record that has just been broken. Not just broken, absolutely shattered by almost 1 1/4 seconds. Butterworth, coached by Chris Ferber, lost his left arm 5 years ago while serving in the British Army. A 2 times time trial world champion on the track, 2010 and 2011. And now he knows he has it all to do if he's to win gold here. Not had the best of run-ups to the Olympics. He's broken his collarbone, not just once but twice in the run-up to London 2012. If he wants gold, he's going to have to set a new world record. What is John Allen Butterworth made of? Well, here is the countdown. 3 riders to go, including Butterworth. And he's round the first 1, 2, 5 in. Well, he's more than a second behind, so he's a lot to do. Nowhere near as quick a start as the Spaniard for the 26-year-old Briton. Over a second behind still, around 3.75. Of course, that doesn't mean he can't get a medal of any sort. At the moment, it's looking very unlikely to be gold at the halfway stage, 1.3 behind, but that would put him in the silver medal position quite comfortably. Now, can he claw back any time on the Spaniard? Well, he has done just a little bit. Round the 3/4 mark and takes the bell, and he's under a second behind now. What's his sprint finish like? Might have left himself a little bit too much to do. Well, he's only half a second behind now. Terrific end to the race. 105.947 to beat, 105.985. He's a C5 athlete. There'll be no factoring involved. He's into the silver medal position, John Allen Butterworth. And in the end, wow, he came so close to matching the Spaniard Alfonso Cabello. 0.038 of a second behind Alfonso Cabello. On any other day, at any other track, it'd be good enough. It would comfortably beat his old world record, comfortably, by 1.25 seconds. But here, at the moment, it's only good enough for silver, and still 2 athletes remain. Well, it was a ride that just got better and better and better. He was almost 1.5 seconds behind in the end. Hauled that back to 0.038 behind the Spaniard. And there you can see what it means to his coach, Chris Ferber. Can't quite believe, I don't think, how close he got in the end. But terrific ride nonetheless. At the moment his head is down, but needs to lift it straight back up. He's in the silver medal position. The worst he can finish is 4th. There's the leader, the Spaniard, Cabello. It's all down to Liu Xingyang of China. And the other Briton riding in this final, Jodie Cundy can do. Liu is a 3 times world champion silver medalist. And 2 of those 3 were this year. One of them in this event. Very keen mountain biker. Asian Games champion of a couple of years ago. Just 20 years of age. We find margins now. Liu is a C5 athlete as well, so again, the time you see is the time that will stand. Jodie Cundy of Great Britain, the last man to go, C4 athlete, so his time will be factored. Cabello of Spain leads. Butterworth of Great Britain is 2nd. Xi of China is 3rd. What can Liu of China do? Can he pip his compatriot of bronze? Or can he go even better than that? Almost 0.8 behind after 1:25. Now at the quarter stage, over a second behind. It was a terrific ride by the Spaniard, though. Out of this world, now 1.5 seconds behind. Approaching the halfway mark. Well, he's got quite a lot of work to do here. Almost 2 seconds off the pace. Might be good enough if he can keep this up for the bronze. He might tip his compatriot Xi to the bronze, although Cundy of Great Britain is still to go. Round the last 1:25, he's still almost 2 seconds behind the leaders. Won't beat Cabello, won't beat Butterworth, but will go into 3rd place. Will pip Liu Xingyang, Xi Zhaofei to the bronze at present, but there is still 1 athlete remaining, and that athlete is Jodie Cundy. It was a good ride from Zhang Liu. Unfortunately for him, Cabello and Butterworth really have set the bar high. In fact, his time of 1.07.638 would have been very, very close to a world record and would have beaten Mark Bristow's Paralympic record from Beijing. The problem for Liu, in 3rd place you can see there, is that Cabello and Butterworth have been phenomenal today. That world record from the Spaniard Cabello, John Allen Butterworth in 2nd place, and Liu will get the bronze unless Jodie Cundy, and he's a real big medal hope for the host nation. Coached by Chris Ferber, won 2 gold medals at the Paralympic Games in 2008, the track time trial and the team sprint. He's competed in the Paralympic Games in 96, in 2000, in 2004, and he competed there in swimming, winning 3 gold and 2 bronze medals. He has the best pedigree in the entire competition. He's the 5 times track cycling world champion, the 2-time swimming world champion. Born with a foot disability, had his right leg amputated below the knee at the age of just 3 years. He's now 33, Jody Cundy. Massive cheers from the home crowd for Great Britain's Jody Cundy. Absolutely packed arena, the velodrome at the Olympic Park. They want absolute silence here for Jody Cundy. At the moment, his compatriot John Allen Butterworth is in silver medal position. Liu of China in bronze. Alfonso Cabello, 18-year-old Spaniard, in the gold medal position. And away he goes. And I think he's going to claim that there was a problem there with the mechanism at the start. He's a C4 athlete, Jody Cundy. Let's have a look at this again with the starting gate. Yeah, it looked like there was a problem with the gate. Arm went up immediately. Went completely offline. So if I overheard correctly there, slightly off microphone. The gate's stuck. I had wheel spin all the way. But I think, judging by the body language here, Jody Cundy is not going to be given the opportunity to have a restart here. I think possibly they need to have a look at the replay. I think from what we saw, I don't think is it a problem with the bike? I don't think it is a problem with the bike. It looked like it was a problem with the gate. Well, here's another opportunity for us to have a look. It doesn't look like Jody Cundy is going to be given a restart. They're saying they haven't done anything to the gate. You can see the way he flipped out to the left-hand side. His back wheel almost buckled. Well, we could be in here for a little wait at the moment of the judge at the starting gate. Seems to feel that it was a problem with either Cundy or his bike, and there was nothing untoward there. At the moment, it's going down as a DNF, did not finish. And it looks like being a bleak day for Jody Cundy. He was the favourite to take gold. I think the real disappointment here is that we're not even seeing whether he could have managed that. It was a terrific ride from Alfonso Cabello. Cundy, I'm sure, would have loved to have pit his wits against Cabello. He faces a nervous wait to see whether he will take the gold. It's unofficial at the moment that Cabello is the gold medal winner. One or two nods. He can't afford to smile yet. He's got the world record. Now, Jody Cundy took his helmet off, but he's put it straight back on. I can only assume that behind the scenes, appeals are taking place here. Well, I don't know whether you could hear in the background there. The official's decision is that the gate was not faulty. So he's all smiles. That's Liu Yang of China, who has taken the bronze medal. I don't know whether Great Britain are going to make any further appeals, but that is the result of the men's time trial. All in some ways a little unsatisfactory. The C4 and C5 categories. What was not in doubt was Alfonso Cabello of Spain, 18 years of age. An absolutely magnificent performance with a new world and Paralympic record, 1.05.947.
Jesus Christ, I get to fucking ride against the fucking...
Well, you can probably hear what Joe of Spain takes gold, Butterworth of Britain silver, Liu of China bronze, and we move on to the individual pursuit finals. We'll have three of these. We'll start with the bronze medal finals and then go into the gold medal finals. And obviously there will be now a short interlude. There's Mark Lee Colborne of Great Britain with the world records set today. We've seen a string of records broken. All broken this morning. The bronze medal final then between Michael Teuber of Germany and Rodrigo Fernando Lopez of Argentina. And then we'll see the gold medal race between Colborne of Britain and Lee of China. think all eyes will be on this starting trap here after what has happened to Jody Cundy. This is Michael Teuber of Germany. And just a word about an extraordinary morning in the velodrome. In those C1 pursuit, C2 pursuit and C3 pursuit. World records in all of them. Mark Colborne of Great Britain in the C1, that's the event you're looking at now. After this we'll have the C2, and Liang Zhu of China broke a world record, and a new world record from Joseph Berenyi of the USA in the C3 pursuit. So for bronze then, in the men's individual C1 pursuit final, this for bronze, Michael Teuber of Germany against Rodrigo Fernando Lopez of Argentina. The race distance, by the way, here is 3,000 metres, so it is 12 laps of the track. Teuber of Germany, 3 times Paralympic champion, won a couple of golds in 2004, another one in 2008. And Lopez, bronze medalists at the Paralympic Games 2004 in the road race stroke time trial. He's a world pursuit bronze medalist. So remember, 3,000 metres. And through 250, 23.3. So at the moment, Lopez in the lead. You can see he's moved on to the 500 metres. He's well ahead at the moment, it has to be said. So another lap and we're a third of the way through. Around at 1,000 metres. We'll look for Lopez time. You can see how he's closing in there. The Argentine Lopez, round 1.375 any second now. 1:49.118. He really is closing here on the German. Halfway through, at just under 2 minutes for Lopez. The world record, by the way, is 3.53970. So a little way short of that at the halfway mark. Lopez continues to gain on the German Tauber. So 2,000 metres marks the 2/3 stage. 2.41.113 for Lopez. Be 3/4 of the way round, 2,250. So any moment now, 2:250. And dead on the 3-minute mark, so it could be quite a quick time. It won't be world record time, but it's a good time from Rodrigo Fernando Lopez. You can see, I think, the pain etched on his face. No doubt where the bronze medal is going, I don't think. Lopez continues to chase down Teuber of Germany. From now to the bell. This is the last lap. Remember the time you're looking for. 3.53970 is the world record. As I say, they won't reach that. They won't beat that. But it's a good time nonetheless for Lopez as he comes round to the finish. Marvellous stuff from the Argentine, just beyond the 4 minutes, 4 minutes, 4 seconds, .559. All smiles, lots of hollering and whooping from the Argentines because Rodrigo Fernando Lopez has taken the bronze medal for Argentina. Confirmation of the time, 4.0559. Bronze medal winner in the C1 individual pursuit, Rodrigo Fernando Lopez of Argentina. So Michael Teuber beaten, but by no means disgrace. Excellent effort from the German, but Rodrigo Fernando Lopez is the man who will take the bronze medal, and in the end over 6 seconds quicker than his German opponent. And now for gold, and the host nation Great Britain has an interest here with Mark Lee Colborne up against Li Zhangyu of China. Remember Colborne, that new Paralympic and world record this morning of 3:53.970. I just wonder whether there might be some extra steely determination from Team GB after what happened to Jody Cundy and his reaction afterwards. They train so hard, of course, all these athletes, from the very best to those that don't quite meet such high standards, but you know, they've all put their heart and soul into it, and it must be very, very difficult when you see what happened to Jody Cundy. And I don't know, I wonder whether that will have an effect, or whether Mark Lee Colborne will be able to put that to one side. Coached by Tom Stanton. Already set a world record, the previous world record. Silver at the World Champions as well. World Championships, I should say, this season in the track time trial. So Li Zhangyu of China up against Mark Lee Colborne of Great Britain. This is over 3,000 metres, so 12 laps of the track. Colborne, the world record holder, and looked like he was very, very quickly out of the blocks. Round the first 125 metres. Well, this looks like being a thrilling battle for the gold medal. Round to 3:75 on the next lap, or half lap I should say. Crowd roaring on Mark Colborne. A moment, Lee having the ride of his life so far, the Chinese athlete. Absolutely wonderful stuff there. So you can see Lee crosses first. So Mark Colborne has a little bit of work to do here, coming to the 1,000-metre mark next. Well, this is a terrific contest. Still plenty of laps to go. Still got 7 laps to go of the 12. Crowd absolutely going wild here. Colborne starting to claw it back now. He was over a second behind. He's just over half a second behind now, and still plenty of distance. Still plenty of distance to go. This is wonderful stuff from Colborne. It was Li Jiangyu who went out of the blocks quickest, but Colborne now has the lead. He snatched the lead, has Mark Lee Colborne. Don't know whether this is quite as fast as his world record this morning. What a terrific, titanic tussle this is. Mark Lee Colborne against Li Jiangyu of China. And they'll be round at 2,000 very, very shortly indeed. So where are they at 2,000? Mark Colborne at 2:35. Well, the crowd is just a wall of noise here. Just look at people up on their feet for Mark Lee Colborne. Just 3 laps to go. And Mark Lee Colborne, yeah, it looks like gold for the British cyclist now. 3.04 at 2,375 metres, round to the 2,500 metre mark in 3.14. And you can see he was actually behind at 12.50, but Mark Colborne, absolutely no doubt here that he is going to take gold, barring some sort of miracle. And now we'll have a look at the time and see whether he can shatter his own world record. Mark Lee Colborne of Great Britain obviously hasn't let what happened to Jody Cundy affect him. Mark Lee Colborne coming round to the finish. 3:53.970 is the world record. It's a gold medal for Great Britain, and it is a new world record. He's done it again. He's shattered the world record twice in a day. Would you believe it? Right arm in the air. Mark Lee Colborne of Great Britain has won gold, and he shattered the world record twice in the space of a matter of hours. What a marvellous ride that was from Mark Lee Colborne. His fist pumps the air. Nothing but disappointment for Great Britain in the 1 kilometre time trial. Well, I say that apart from obviously for the silver medalist John Allen Butterworth, but in terms of the gold and Jody Cundy. But look at this man taking the applause of the home crowd. Mark Lee Colborne with the Union flag draped across his face at the moment. Have to be careful it doesn't block his vision. He doesn't want to be falling off the cycle. And just look at the distance that he caught up on Li Jiangyu, who actually had the lead in the early stages of that race and been urged on by his coach. He knew he'd got gold. He wanted to see whether he could beat the world record for a second time, and that's exactly what he did. So the C1 pursuit gold medal goes to Mark Lee Colborne of Great Britain in a new world record time. You can see what it means to him. You can hear what it means to the home crowd, to the host nation. Who really have responded to this Paralympic Games. And there's confirmation of the men's individual pursuit. Gold, Mark Colborne, Lee of China with silver, and Lopez of Argentina with the bronze. Well, he's all smiles, the PA announcer, just making sure, lest anybody didn't know inside the velodrome, that Mark Colborne had broken the world record twice in one day.
The victory ceremony for the men's individual C4, C5 kilometre time trial. Please welcome your medalists. Medals will be presented by Mr. Hassan Ali bin Ali.
And so to the victory ceremony for the time trial, the 1 kilometre time trial. Mr. Ali bin Ali will present the medals.
Chair of Disability Sport
Gareth
Wales.
John of Disability Sport Wales will present the bouquets.
Bronze medalist, representing the People's Republic of China, Liu Jinyang.
Liu Jinglang takes the bronze. This, of course, was the event in which the favourite didn't finish, barely started, in fact, Jodie Cundy. And I suspect Li Jingyang was pretty certain when Cody was still to ride and he was in third place before that ride that he would be squeezed out into fourth place. But one man's misfortune is another's triumph. And Liu Jingyang takes the bronze medal for China in the men's individual C4 and 5 1 kilometre time trial. John Allen Butterworth, and my apologies for him to saying the time trial wasn't great for Britain. Of course it was great for John Allen Butterworth. He saw his world record shattered by the Spaniard Cabello, who took gold. Butterworth with a marvellous ride though, 0.3 of a second behind. Would have been a new world record for him had Cabello not beaten him to it first. John Allen Butterworth then, silver in the men's time trial.
Representing Spain, Alfonso Cabello.
And absolutely wonderful riding from the teenager, just 18 years of age. Alfonso Cabello of Spain. Well, I bet he can barely believe his day.
Ladies and gentlemen, as is customary, will those who are able please stand for the national anthem of Spain.
Well, having seen a thrilling men's individual C1 pursuit, there's the start list for the C2 pursuit. And we'll have a bronze medal race between Laurent Thirianet of France and Colin Lynch from Ireland. And a little later, Liang Guihui of China and Tobias Graf of Germany will race for the gold medal. Liang, the Chinese athlete, by the way, set a new world record this morning in the qualification stage. I think Paralympic cycling's come a long way since they first competed using tandem bicycles. The advances in technology have been extraordinary, really, and opening up the sport to a far wider range of athletes. And when you look at the bikes now, well, they're almost works of art in their own right. Here's the Frenchman, Laurent Thirianet. So plenty of support for the Irishman, Colin Lynch. He suffered a spinal cord disorder from an injury while playing at rugby, and that resulted in a lower leg amputation. He's got nerve disorder in the other leg as well. And he's up against the 6 times Paralympic medalist winning Laurent Thirianet, who is favourite to win the bronze medal here. He's almost 2 seconds faster in qualification this morning. And here's the countdown. 3,000 metres, 12 laps of the track. It's Thirianet of France against Lynch of Ireland. Both cyclists just getting into their stride. It's the Irishman who has the lead early on. Thirianet just a second or so behind. But we saw in the previous final that doesn't mean anything over 3,000 metres. Well, he's extended that lead 1.2 seconds. Coming up next to the 1,000 metre mark. It's the Irishman who was there first, Thirianet 1.3 seconds behind. So an excellent ride so far from Colin Lynch, coached by Brian Nugent. Thirianet now a second and a half behind. Maybe around 1,500 metres any moment now at the halfway stage. Lynch has almost a 2-second advantage here on Tyrrhenay. Well, that tells the story more graphically really than any words. This has been a marvellous ride so far from Lynch. What has Tyrrhenay got in his locker? Well, at the moment, he isn't managing to respond. He's maintaining, Colin Lynch, that 2-second advantage over Tyrrhenay. Just now dipped under 2 seconds. Well, it's coming down with each 125 metres at the moment. But has Tyrrhenay left himself too much to do? Down to 1.5 seconds now. Still 750 metres remaining. This could be a real grandstand finish. It could be very, very close indeed. Down to 1.3 seconds the advantage, but still Lynch has it from the Frenchman Tyrrhenay. There's Lynch over the line. Tyrrhenay is definitely catching. Only a second behind. 500 metres to go. Tyrrhenay is really into his stride now. There's the bell. Only 0.6 now the advantage. .3 with 125 metres to go. It really is going to be very, very tight. Lynch against Tyrrhenay. Lynch pedalling for all he's worth. And I think Tyrrhenay has nicked it on the line. He has. Extraordinary riding. Well, that was a tactical masterstroke from Laurent Tyrrhenay. He trailed virtually the whole of the 3,000 metres. He was even behind with 1:25 to go. Lynch can't believe it. All the while he was closing the gap on the Irishman. I wasn't sure that he'd done enough, and he puffs out his cheeks, and I don't think he does either. Well, we know these guys have to be strong and they have to be powerful. In this discipline, they have to be tactically aware as well. A slight wheel wobble at the start, but that did not stop Colin Lynch getting the most extraordinary start to the race in terms of his advantage over Laurent Tyrrhenay. And he led at every 125 metre stage from start to literally the penultimate stage. But not quite, unfortunately for him, the finish. And Tyrrhenay has grabbed it, and look how close that is. Well, that's less than the length of one bicycle. But Tyrrhenay knew that he'd just about done enough. Well, I suspect he's put his supporters through purgatory there. And look how close that is. 3.53, 0.547, 3.53, 0.667. So Lynch of Ireland, alas, misses out on a medal, and the bronze goes to Laurent Tyrrhenay. Liang is a 4-time World Championship medalist. Graf, who had his left leg crushed by a farm machine on his parents' farm when he was just 10 years of age. He has won 3 Paralympic medals in the 2 previous games. Got a silver in 2004. And then 2 bronzes as well, one in 04, one in 08. Liang with the world and Paralympic record this morning, 3 minutes 45 seconds, .828. I think we've seen from previous finals that it's not necessarily about who's in the lead here. I think Graf will be pleased with his start, that said, because he does have a quarter of a second advantage. We've seen others produce incredible performances twice in one day. Is Liang going to do likewise, having broken that world record this morning? And he's getting on for a second behind the German at the moment, so Graf away quickly. And the advantage now for the German is well over a second. Next we're at the 1,000 metre mark. There goes Graf over the white line. Liang is 1.3 behind. Only a third of the way through the race though. He's just closed the gap in that last 125 metres. And now he really is starting to make inroads into the Germans' lead. Down to 0.6, down to 0.3 at the halfway stage. It's looking good for Liang. Graf went away quickly, but Liang is chasing him down. And now it's the Chinese athlete who leads. Round 17.50 and Graf trails by 0.4. Moment it looks like Liang has timed this perfectly. 2,000 is the next mark. 2/3 of the way through the race. Liang of China now has a 1.143 second advantage over Graf. He'd love another world record, but the gold is the thing. Paralympic gold and glory for China if Liang can hold his nerve here. Well, the lead's getting bigger and bigger, up to 1.6 and a bit. Now almost 2 seconds. 500 metres to go. It's Liang's gold, barring something very, very unfortunate indeed. The time to look at, 3 minutes 45 seconds, .828. There's the bell, 250 metres remain. There's no doubt that gold is going to China and to Liang. 3:45.828. Can he do it? Can he do it twice in a day? He can do it twice in a day. 3:45.243 for Liang of China. He's won the gold and he's broken the world record twice in a day. Marvellous cycling from Liang Jiehuao. 3 minutes 45 seconds. And he's done that twice in a day. And he takes the applause from his coach Li Peng. Well, the tactically perfect race. The German Tobias Graf did everything he could, really. Graf away very, very quickly. Had the lead in the early stages. But Liang's pure speed. Not much more, really, Tobias Graf could have done. And he's won a silver medal for Germany. But hats off to Liang of China. Well, to break the record twice in a day, that is some feat. And it has won him Paralympic gold here at London 2012. All smiles from the Chinese team. He's a very popular athlete as well. Record 3:45.243 and the gold and new world record to China.
Ladies and gentlemen, the victory ceremony for the men's individual senior. The medals will be presented by Mr. Hassan Ali bin Ali, member of the Honorary Board of the International Paralympic Committee.
And so to the victory ceremony then for the men's individual C1 pursuit.
UK and the Republic of Ireland. Bronze medalist, representing Argentina, Rodrigo Lopez.
Rodrigo Fernando Lopez of Argentina, who beat Michael Taubert of Germany in the bronze medal race. Quick gracias from Lopez. So I think it was an Irishman presenting the bouquet, but I'm sure he knew what was meant there.
Representing the People's Republic of China, Liang Guihua.
So Li of China gets the silver, and the grave Mark Lee Colborne. A really fine race in that gold medal event. Led for some of the way, did as much as he possibly could, Lee. But, and it's a big but, and this will go down a storm with the home crowd, because host nation Great Britain have another gold. Lee, well, we saw in the Olympics that biting the medal seems to be the thing to do.
Representing Great Britain, Mark Colborne.
Mark Colborne of Great Britain, a very, very popular gold medal winner here at London 2012.
Ladies and gentlemen, as is customary, will those who are able please stand for the national anthem of Great Britain. Ladies and gentlemen, your Paralympic medalists.
All smiles then for Mark Colborne of Great Britain. The victory ceremony for the men's C1 individual pursuit. Colborne with gold, Lee of China with silver, and Lopez of Argentina with the bronze. And to the last action then in the velodrome for today, the men's individual pursuit C3 finals, the bronze medal final, David Nicholas of Australia against Darren Kenny of Great Britain, and Sean McEwen of Great Britain in the gold medal final against Joseph Berenier of the USA, who set a new world record, the American, in the qualification this morning. New world record of 3 minutes 36.148, and there it is. World record and Paralympic record for Joseph Berenier. That is David Nicholas of Australia, two-time world champion. Won the 2012 individual pursuit and the 2011 time trial. Trains with his father, David Sr. And he's up against a home favourite in Darren Kenny, one of the British athletes coached by Chris Ferber. David Nicholas was a little quicker in qualifying than Darren Kenny, but Kenny is a 6 times Paralympic champion, 5 times on the track. All 3 of these pursuits we've seen today are over 3,000 metres, 12 laps of the track. This then for bronze. The Australian Nicholas appeared to be away the quicker there. And over the first 1:25. Well, he's not. Kenny caught up. Nicholas trailing by almost a second. Around to the 250 metres, and well, Kenny has an advantage of almost a second and a half. There goes Kenny for the host nation, Great Britain. No mixing up the jerseys in this one, is there? Australia in the green and gold, and David Nicholas up against Darren Kenny. The next stage is 750, and Darren Kenny has almost a 3-second lead. Kenny for Great Britain then really would go down a storm if he could win the bronze, and there you can see he's over the white line, way ahead there of David Nicholas. Well over 3 seconds now the lead. Looks like Nicholas must have put an awful lot into that ride this morning. Darren Kenny, beforehand, may have felt he would finish better than bronze medalist. But at this rate, at least he is going to have a medal, because he is cruising here. Round the halfway mark. And you can see how much he has closed on David Nicholas. He's chasing him down here. Being urged on, implored to go faster by his coaching staff. Kenny crosses again, crosses at 18.75, so they'll be 2/3 of the way through the race. And Kenny still with an almighty lead here. Being roared home by the home crowd. I don't think David Nicholas has got any answer to this. World record, by the way, is 3 minutes 36.148. The noise is absolutely incredible here. Kenny, just 375 metres to go. The next marker will be 250 and the bell. Magnificent riding from Darren Kenny for the host nation, Great Britain. Absolutely sensational. Round to the finish. 3:36.148 is the world record, and it is a new world record. 3:35, and I just missed the final splits of a second, the 100ths of a second there, but that's a new world record after Joseph Berenyi of the USA set a new world record this morning. Darren Kenny has grabbed it back. 3:35.257 for Darren Kenny. He's won the bronze in a new world record time, and he takes the applause, and I'm sure now that he has recorded that world record time, he must be thinking, he must be wondering, did he save that best race till a little too late? Could that have won him gold? Well, only time will tell when Berenyi and McCune come face to face in the gold medal final. With grit and determination on the teeth of David Nicholas, but he was well beaten. You can see Kenny there in, well, very hot pursuit. I think it's the best way to put it. And Darren Kenny, and there's confirmation of that world record time. We really have seen some absolutely fantastic cycling in the velodrome in the first couple of days of London 2012. Bronze medalist and world record holder for now, Darren Kenny. And for gold and silver, it's Joseph Berenyi of the USA against Sean McCune of Great Britain. Berenyi broke the world record this morning, which has just been shattered by Darren Kenny. Married father of three, Berenyi had a construction accident while at work and lost his right arm and severely broken, shattered a kneecap. And here's Sean McCune of Great Britain, 4 times world champion medalist. Countdown begins then to this gold medal in the men's individual C3 pursuit. Oh, and it's a very, very uncertain start there for the American Berenyi. So there will be a restart here. Sean McCune of Great Britain saw what was happening almost immediately. So he paused Joseph Berenyi. Oh, it's just slightly obscured what they're doing there. But it looks like something as minor as a loose screw. He veered wildly off course right from the very start. Almost immediately they were called back. Yeah, it was funny on the first showing. I thought it was a problem with the right foot, but I think it was a problem actually with the left foot. It almost looked like the foothold had disintegrated there. Nervous wait then for Sean McEwen of Great Britain. Can't afford to allow himself to be distracted. It's good to see that there's a smile on his face. Not easy for either athlete under these circumstances. A penny for the thoughts of Sean McEwen. So hopefully second time lucky then in the men's individual C3 pursuit final. It's Joseph Berenier of the USA against Sean McEwen of Great Britain. And we're away okay this time. McEwen of Great Britain, Berenier in the white helmet from the USA. And it's McEwen who has the early lead. Berenier quarter of a second down. But then he's caught back up almost immediately, and he leads by 0.03 after 250 metres. Around 3.75, he's extended that lead. Great cycling here from the American, Joseph Berenier, the man who shattered the world record this morning and then saw Darren Kenny break it again in winning bronze. Around at 7.50 next. Berenier with over a second lead now over Sean McEwen. Wonderful how he keeps the bike so steady with that left hand. This is the 1,000-metre mark. 1.205 is Berenier's lead at the moment. Both riders, but particularly obviously McEwen as the home favourite, being roared on by this velodrome crowd. 1.3 now, more than 1.3 the lead that the American has over McEwen. Next time round they're at the halfway stage at 1,500 metres. Berenier over the white line, and then 1.192 seconds behind is Sean McEwen of Great Britain. So I think he ever so slightly closed the gap there, but Berenier is looking good. He was superb this morning in qualification. Berenier comes round again, still the second advantage for Joseph Berenier of the USA. Can McEwen close the gap? Well, it's staying pretty steady at 1 second. Berenier still has the lead. There he goes over the white line. McEwen now closes it to within 1 second, but still 0.9 behind. Still quite a way to go. Still 750 metres. Still 875 metres. Now there's 750 metres. Berenier over first, but only just. It's 0.756 is the lead. So McEwen is chasing him down. Has he got enough in reserve though? And Berenier hold on. 0.77 the lead as we come to the 2,500 metre point. Berenier crosses the white line, 0.899. Berenier is holding off the challenge of McKeown of Great Britain. 375 metres to go. It's almost a second now, the lead. Terrific contest. There goes the bell. Berenier's over. McKeown pedalling for all he's worth. He's only 0.83 behind now, but I don't think it's going to be enough if Berenier can hold on. 0.6 the lead. Just over 0.6. Berenier coming round to the finish. 3.35 is the new world record. It won't be a world record. Berenier wins. 0.725 of a second ahead of Sean McKeown of Great Britain. And the irony won't be lost on the bronze medal winner Darren Kenny, because he has pedalled faster in his final for bronze than either of these two men for gold and silver. But every credit to Berenier and McKeown after the false start. Joseph Berenier, 3.37912 is the gold medal winner for the USA. It's a silver and a bronze for Great Britain. McKeown and Kenny. Well, Sean McKeown did his level best to race down Joseph Berenier. It wasn't to be. Berenier held him off. Marvellous ride from the American, draped in the flag, 3.37912. Joseph Berenier takes gold for the USA with Sean McKeown, silver for Great Britain. Darren Kenny with the bronze. David Nicholas, the unfortunate man to miss out on a medal from that men's individual pursuit C3 class. That caps what has been a marvellous day of cycling in the velodrome. The records just tumbled and tumbled and tumbled. I've actually lost count of the number of records that we have had. It might be 5 or 6 world records in one day. All smiles then for the American Joseph Berenier. They had a false start in that final. Neither man, I think it's fair to say, let it put them off. And we were served up an absolute treat in that final. Sean McKeown, well, he was slightly the quicker out of the blocks out of the first 1-2-5 metres. After that, he was always chasing Berenier, chasing what turned out in the end to be a losing cause. Silver to McKeown and gold to that man, Joseph Berenier.
medals will be presented by the Right Honourable Caroline Spellman, MP, Secretary of State for Environment, Food and Rural Affairs, accompanied by Lord Terry Burns, Chairman of Channel 4. Bronze medalist, representing France, Laurent Thirionnet.
And this the men's individual C2 pursuit medal ceremony. Laurent Thirionnet of France taking the bronze. Just nicked the bronze really off Colin Lynch of Ireland, right on the line, having trailed for virtually the whole of the 3,000 metres. A bronze medal to Thirionnet of France.
Silver medalist, representing Germany, Tobias Graf.
Tobias Graf of Germany then takes the silver. He knew he was up against it in the final against Liang of China. He went.
Gold medalist and Paralympic champion, representing the People's Republic of China, Liang Guihua.
And Liang of China, with a new world record time, takes the gold in the men's individual C2 pursuit. Didn't panic when he was behind, not that he was very far behind Graf in that final. He knew, having broken the world record in qualifying this morning, that he had enough up his sleeve. And ignore what it just said on your screen. That is Liang of China, who has won the
Those who
gold.
are able, please stand for the national anthem of the People's Republic of China. Ladies and gentlemen, your Paralympic medalists.
Well, the man you're watching now on the big screen is Great Britain's Jodie Cundy, who, well, he's apologising, I think, to everybody in the arena and I guess to you watching. He didn't get his restart in the final. Well, I think apology has been accepted by those inside the velodrome. He felt he should have had a restart in his final, or he was the final man of the 22 to go in the 1 kilometre time trial. It would have been a tall order to win gold anyway, because the Spaniard set a frightening pace with a new world record. That was Spain's Alfonso Cabello. And his teammate John Allen Butterworth as well was only 0.03 behind that world record. So it would have been tough anyway for Jodie Cundy, but, well, he felt he'd perhaps wasted 4 years of his life when he wasn't allowed a restart. There was some rather choice language from Jodie Cundy, and I think he was just apologising to those within the velodrome and to you at home, or wherever you are watching this, because I think he lost his head in the heat at the moment. But, well, thankfully, I think sanity has prevailed, and he says he'll be back tomorrow. We should have one more medal ceremony this evening. And although one or two of the spectators here inside the velodrome have drifted away, the majority, I'm glad to say, have stayed. They haven't seen a home gold for this next medal ceremony, but they have seen silver and bronze. Confirmation there of the event. It's the men's individual pursuit C3 category. It wasn't the gold that the host nation wanted, but 2 more medals to their tally and a gold to the USA. The victory ceremony coming up very shortly.
Individual C3 pursuit. Please welcome your medalists. The medals will be presented by the Right Honourable Caroline Spellman MP, Secretary of State for Environment, Food and Rural Affairs, accompanied by Miss Sally Gunnell, OBE, Olympian. Bronze medalist, representing Great Britain, Darren Kenny.
So a bronze then to Darren Kenny. It must be a strange one, this, for him. He will be delighted. There is a faint trace of a smile there. Delighted, in a sense, to have got bronze, but disappointed when he knows that his time in the bronze final was good enough to regain the world record. So he would have won
Silver medalist, representing
the silver
Great
and gold
Britain,
final,
Sean McEwen.
and he does have the new world record back. Sean McEwen, also of Great Britain, with the silver medal, presented by Caroline Spellman, Secretary of State for the Environment, and even more popularly, Sally Gunnell, one of Britain's best ever athletes, presenting the bouquet of flowers to Sean McEwen with the silver medal. But nobody today could get the better of this man.
Representing the United States of America, Joseph Bereny.
Joseph Bereny of the USA broke the world record this morning in qualifying. He's lost that again now because bronze medalist Darren Kenny's pinched it back, but he won't be bothered over much, I don't think, because he has got what he came to London 2012 for. He has won the gold medal.
Ladies and gentlemen, as is customary, will those who are able please stand for the national anthem of the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, your Paralympic medalists.
So the men's individual pursuit C3, silver and bronze to host nation Great Britain, Sean McEwen and Darren Kenny. The gold to the USA's Joseph Bereny. And what a terrific final that was, the men's individual C3 pursuit.
Song by
different ideas of testing the Iranian defence at close quarters. Or perhaps Iran will come away with the ball. Zadlius Hadi. This is Rajab Paur, who himself